Sure. I think, Barry had a contract clause that stated if we won a Stanley Cup, his contract would be extended 2 years at an increased rate. And I think our discussions with his representative centered around that and what he was looking to accomplish through negotiations. So we had several discussions on what they were looking for and about the existing contract, and we weren't able to come to an agreement.
Was the issue money, or was it years that he was asking?
Probably term was a big issue, and maybe a little bit of the financial part of it too.
Do you know, I guess, the fate of some of your assistants? Have you gotten that far? Some of those guys came with very obviously.
Right. No, we haven't. We're just basically digesting this, and we'll make decisions as we go forward, as we find a new head coach, and then make a decision on the assistants after that.
Did you guys discuss renegotiating, I guess, the extension, considering the cup and everything else?
Sorry?
Did you and Barry discuss renegotiating the extension for a greater term, more money, anything like that?
After the season? Yes.
And he didn't, I guess, there was no agreement there?
No, I think, his representative, wants to take advantage of Barry's experience and Stanley Cup win, and is trying to negotiate a deal that compensates him as one of the better coaches in the league, a top, 4 or 5 coaches. So he's looking for that type of contract.
So if Barry had a 2-year extension that was triggered for winning the cup, he's technically still under contract to the Washington Capitals.
Yes.
How are you going to deal with that?
He resigned and we accepted the resignation. I think we came to an agreement that it wasn't going to work, and we don't want to hold him back from coaching.
Was it a face-to-face talk between you and him as to something else?
Yeah, we just missed each other today, but we've talked several times over the last couple of weeks. So
he would be permitted to work anywhere else?
yes, yeah. Once we accept the resignation, he can work wherever he wants.
Did you have an inkling that this could play out this way?
I think, it's just my perception, and Barry never came out and said it, but I think he was pondering taking a year off in my mind. I wasn't positive on it, but I think he ended up enjoying the final part of the season, obviously, and probably changed his mind that way.
You know, this is a business. You also talked about losing somebody of his caliber, kind of character.
Yeah, it's not fun,
I guess some people would want to know why Trust doesn't deserve to be paid like a top 4 or 5.
Well, I'm not saying he doesn't. He does probably in some people's minds. I don't think all teams pay that type of money in years. I see certain teams are open to it, and the rest of the league isn't.
Brian, on Wednesday, both you and Trotz hinted or alluded that you wanted him to be back, and there were issues that had to be worked through. Were these the issues that you foresaw, or did something catch you by surprise?
These are some of the issues. A little bit by surprise, yes. I thought we'd be able to work out a shorter-term deal and to make both sides happy.
You elevated Todd Reardon to associate head coach a couple of years ago. That's a pretty good indication of what you guys think of him as a coach. Would he be considered the leading candidate at this point for the opening?
Yeah, I think, we need to take a breather here, but I think Todd's a good candidate for it. I'd like to sit down with Todd and have a normal interview, head coaching interview, see what, I think most of our discussions are just casual. It's about hockey in general. But I'd like to, do a formal interview with him and just see if there's differences or how we see the things the same and if he's a possibility for the head coach.
Do you feel, I guess, some pressure to get someone in soon, considering you guys have some free agent decisions to make with your guys before July 1, and they probably question
Yeah, I mean, I don't know there's pressure. You'd like to have someone, but I think, we're going to make a good decision here, hopefully.
Would you consider, you said you're going to speak with Todd, are you going to kind of cast a wide net as well and talk to several?
We're going to start with Todd here, and, I think we've been grooming him to be a head coach, whether for us or for someone else. We'll see how the talk goes with him, and then we'll make a decision based on that. If it goes well, we'll pursue Todd, and if it doesn't, we'll open it up a little bit.
When do you hope to have a head coach lined up by?
Not sure, no time frame.
Now that the contract is no longer in existence, can you talk about the financial aspects of that 2-year extension and what you guys were talking about since everything now is said and done and he's resigned?
What do you mean, numbers? I mean, the organization doesn't typically give out salary information. Pardon me?
Was there an NDA? Are you
NDA?
non-disclosure?
No.
You just don't want to talk about numbers?
Right.
Can you elaborate a little bit on what personally meant to this organization? I know you said that this was not fun when I was.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's a good guy. He's done a great job here. Came in, changed the culture. I mean, we won 2 President trophies, a Stanley Cup. I enjoy working with him. We're still friends. There's not a negative thing I can say. It's just we didn't get it done on the negotiations, both sides.
From his perspective, I guess, because you said you were hoping to work out a shorter term deal and you wanted obviously longer, more leverage.
Right.
You can understand, and maybe Ted can understand from his perspective that he doesn't want that like short-term security when he has the most amount of leverage, right?
Definitely, yes. I mean, there's a case for that, and there's a case for us. I mean, I don't know that there's an easy solution to it. He's done a great job here. He won a cup, and I think we'll see if he gets that contract somewhere else.
Can you explain why, I guess you guys as an organization maybe aren't willing to go to that top 4 or 5 term salary bill with them?
I think the 5-year term is probably a sticking point. You have a coach that's been here 4 years. You do another 5, that's 9 years. There's not many coaches with that have that lasting ability. It's a long time, and it's a lot of money to be committing to that to a coach.
Same with the salary, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3, probably 4 guys that are making that kind of money. So it's the upper echelon. It's the big revenue teams.
20 years ago, players could ask for and sort of hostage to renegotiate contracts, and that kind of got closed off with that being CBA coming out with 405 lockout. Do you have any thoughts on whether in that shape could be extended to front office personnel as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can make a case for that. I mean, in the contract, there's a resignation clause that he's allowed to resign from the contract. I mean, there's probably a case both ways to do that.
Not offering him a deal at the start of the season kind of played into this?
I could have, but I think our situation was, I mean, we were struggling at the time to get over the hump. I mean, we couldn't get out of the second round, and Barry hadn't been able to coach out of the second round yet either. So it's, I think from the organization's perspective, some changes would have had to be made if we lost in the second round again.
What are you looking for in the next coach?
I think, someone that's up to date on the modern game, someone that's progressive, looking to try different things, someone that has a good relationship with players, that communicate, can teach, make players better. I think it's becoming a developmental league where guys are coming in, not fully developed products, and you need a guy that can bring young players along because more and more we're going to use young players as the higher end guys make more money.
Coming off a Stanley Cup championship, would it make the most sense for this team to keep Reardon because you're presumably going to keep the majority of your core players and presumably would like to keep the same system and power play?
Yeah, it might. I mean, I'll have some discussions with Todd. He's familiar with the personalities. He's familiar with systems we've used, the culture. you know, it could be a natural transition, but once we sit down and talk face to face about all the little small details in the team, I'll have a better feel for it.
Will that happen this week, do you think?
Possibly. I mean, we have, you know, the draft, free agency, some contract stuff going on, so we'll see if we can fit it in.
Obviously, players move all the time for agency. What happened, there's change, and players knew a various situation. Do you worry about any impact on how they might handle it when they kind of come back and process this?
Yeah, I imagine there's some players that are attached, that have a real good relationship with the coach. But also, I think these guys are professionals. I think, you know, they adapt, they move on. I mean, it happens to teams all the time. You get new guys coming in, guys going out. You try and develop a chemistry with the new guys and keep your friendships going with the older guys.
Barry took over, one of the things that he was adamant about changing was the culture. How can you retain the best aspects of what you did here?
Yeah, he did. I mean, that was probably the best thing he did in my mind here is he changed the culture. He came in and did a great job with it. I think what he and his staff and the players have established is here now, and it's our job to find a guy that can maintain it as a group too. It's just not one person that maintains that culture. You know, I think our players have grown and adapted and are at a level now, or our room is at a level now where we can take on some change.
Whoever you bring in as a new head coach, I guess how much say does he have in what you guys do on the AHL side? Considering there's a vacancy there too.
Yeah, I mean, we have different candidates. We're interviewing for that. We've had a process go all along here, and we've probably got it narrowed down to 4 or 5 guys, and we'll continue to interview these guys and get it down and pick a guy. It'll be different, totally different process than the NHL side.
And have you made any progress with your player free agents in the past week or so since we last met?
We have meetings set up at the draft in Dallas with all of them.
Ryan, what's your message to the fan base? Less than a week ago, hundreds of thousands were celebrating, and then they're sort of hit with a blow to the stomach by losing head coach.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard for me. It's hard for guys in the organization. It's you know, in the end, I think sports is a business. It's not always, you know, you want it to work out. You want it to be a game. You want it to be all fun. But 10 days after you win a cup, you have to come here and do this. It's not fun.
Not to go down the road, not to go down the road of hyperbole and all, give us a sense as to just how important he was in this team running that Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, he's had a big impact, like we talked about before, on the culture. I think winning that cup is an accumulation of 4 years of work. It's you know, players, it's scouts, it's everybody that's gone into it, and he's been a big part of it too, and his coaching staff too, the assistant coach. We got excellent assistant coaches, but it's, you know, he's had a huge impact here. I mean, obviously we won a cup this year, so it's exemplified.